Hey, Ryan here, back after a while. I recently started writing again on the blog, and yesterday I wrote a post called Love and Other Stuff, and I'll actually put a link of that in the description here so you can kind of see where this originated from. But I got through the love part, but maybe not the other stuff. Basically, just the gist of it is, I've obviously all this terrible stuff happened in my life back in August of last year. And I really, at that point, was like, I just never want to date again. I never want to trust anybody again. I never want to even think about a relationship. And yet, without me looking for it or trying, um, something kind of awesome happened. And someone who I've known for a while, we kind of came together, and there was a whole lot of awesome magic sparks there, and it's turned into something really awesome. And it's nothing that I ever expected to happen. And as I explained on my blog, it's kind of something I didn't really want to talk about here or publicly. I mean, honestly, I didn't even want to talk about it publicly in my real life for a while because I just felt this like, oh my God, what are people gonna think? Especially people who like don't know me, people who are more like acquaintances, like, my God, she just went through all this and now she's with some other guy already without like knowing the full story and being able to explain. But the truth is I'm not ashamed of it, and it's absolutely wonderful. So I'm not gonna just ignore it and hide it anymore. I'm just gonna own it. But in terms of the title of the blog, which was Love and Other Stuff, it's kind of just talking about that topic of love to begin with, and how it's been affected for me by the things that I've been through with my previous two marriages. Oh God, every time I say it, I just get like disgusted, and it's unbelievable. But so, my first husband, it was this, we met, we were young, and it was like instantly like, wow, this person, we were like inseparable, and it was just a whirlwind in the beginning, and just so happy and in love and things like that. And then, some things started to change in terms of, how he treated me, but it was kind of sporadic. And so I put up with some of the negative ways I was treated because I loved him so much. And because he did show me a lot of love most of the time. It was like a, if 95 or more percent of the time we're, we're loved and happy, then that 5% when he does something terrible, it was so hard to like let go of the rest of it. And I put up with things that I probably shouldn't have, in retrospect. Nothing that hinted towards what ultimately happened, but definitely mistreating me in some pretty gross ways. I could talk about that another day, but I'm not going to get into it right now. But when everything happened and I lost him, I mean, I was devastated. This was the person we'd been dating since we were basically kids, and thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with him. We were married, we were together for 12 years, and I just adored this person. Despite the bad that was there, I absolutely loved and adored this person. And that's why I put up with so much for so long. But when everything happened and he was just gone all of a sudden, it was like mourning this person who, it was like they just died, they were just gone. And yet you like weren't allowed to mourn him because of what he did. It was horrible. And if he didn't die, he was just gone. And it was really hard. So it took me in a really dark place for a long time. And then, later on when I was like, okay, maybe I should think about dating again and kind of see what's out there, I set limits for myself. I didn't want that again. I didn't want to be crazy in love. I didn't want to be with someone who I loved so much I felt like I couldn't live without, and that it would hurt that bad to lose. So I started to look instead for someone who checked off a bunch of other boxes. and, you know, dated a little and ultimately ended up marrying my second husband. And just to set the record straight, I loved him, but it was different from that I'm crazy in love with this person. You know, it wasn't all fireworks and sparks and rainbows. It was, and it used to kind of tout that as a good thing. Um, you know, before I knew what happened and what he had been doing. And like the difference between this instant love that's totally based upon chemistry and sparks and fireworks versus a slow growing love that, you know, starts a little niceties here and there and you slowly love each other more and more. And because we were more compatible on a day-to-day basis than my first husband, I thought that was a good thing. And, you know, even though it wasn't, I was sacrificing a bit of that passion and fire and stuff like that, I was okay with that and I was content. And I thought I was protecting myself from this happening again and from the fear of going through that kind of pain and loss again. And then if you're following my videos, you know what happened. You know what he did. And he's gone too. So with this other person who I'm now with, we knew each other for a long time, but we were both in relationships. So we weren't looking for anything. We weren't open or receptive to, do I like this person? Because that was totally off our radar, because we're not asshole cheater people who fuck around on our husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends and things like that. So, you know, we got along great. We thought each other were cool, but that was about the extent of it. We weren't even like super great friends. We were friends/acquaintances, you know, saw each other, I don't know, once a month, something like that. But when we were done with the previous relationships and things kind of came together for the two of us, it was so hard that bam, like you can't ignore this. Like I couldn't say no to this. It was so just beautiful and irresistible. And that was so scary. Now, the difference being, it's almost like this combination between the two, where there was that bam, oh my gosh, what's going on here? This is, you know, amazing and wonderful and beautiful, and I never want to, you know, I want to latch onto this. But then there's also this slow growing, like, gosh, just we're like every single day there's something new that makes me love and appreciate you more kind of feeling. And granted, it's still new, you know, hasn't even been a year yet. But it has been a good number of months that we've been together, and we see each other almost every day, and I keep saying it's like amazing and wonderful, but it is, because he's amazing and wonderful and he's extraordinary. And I use that word in particular because it's kind of, I don't know, it has meaning for me, but yeah, he's an amazing guy. But anyway, I'm going to stop gushing because you can kind of see in my face how real that is. And gosh, he's the same way back at me. You know, I've never felt more loved in my life. It's wonderful. But anyway, as I said, I'm going to stop that. But the point being, I used to, after everything happened with my first husband, there was all kinds of, well, if I choose this instead of this, then these bad things won't happen. Or if I choose this instead of this, then this pain isn't going to happen again. Or if I, you know, and then like both going the safe route and going this passionate, follow your heart right way, both completely failed me and destroyed me. So when something else started to bubble up, it was like you know, what do I do here? And my brain wants to make sense of what happened, and I just can't. So there was this long period of time where it was a mix of, one, I don't know how serious this is, because we might just both be, you know, I don't like to use the word rebound, but, you know, just we're both hurting, we're both going through a similar shitty situation, and maybe we're just latching onto each other because it feels good when everything else feels bad. But then the other part of me was, you know, this feels so great that I don't know if you want this because I don't want to lose that again. Because I've had that once before and I lost it. It was devastating. So there was a lot of thought about it. Like, what do I do here? Do I let this go because I'm afraid of what might happen? Or do I, embrace it because it makes me so happy? And I kind of have to come to terms with that. I can't keep just trying to find a reason why things happened, and that I can't keep letting what happened rule my life. It doesn't mean that I'm not cautious, and it doesn't mean that I'm not, I'm just going willy-nilly with whatever. I mean, I'm definitely on alert about things and signs and things, which thankfully they've been done. But, honestly, the only real thing that's like a definite no for me is if a person I'm with treats me badly. And I don't mean, oh, we got in a fight and someone said, hey, you're a jerk. I don't mean something like that, but someone truly disrespecting or being aggressive verbally or physically or anything like that. That's like an instant out. Same with if there's any big lies or betrayal or cheating or anything like that, whether it be online or anything, because those two things in my previous two relationships happened, and I wish now that I didn't allow it. I didn't allow them to say sorry and move forward with it. Because it happened once with my second husband where I caught him talking to someone online and stuff like that, and he went super apologetic and gave me all his passwords and said it would never happen again, and he got into therapy and all this stuff, and I let him wiggle his way back in and rebuild some kind of trust in me. And obviously that was a mistake because he continued to do things throughout the course of our relationship. So I'm an idiot there. So I mean, outside of that, I've just I've been working on this in therapy too, like this issue of like it's hard for me to trust people. And even when I do start to trust people, the back of my head is just, stop it. You're an idiot. What are you doing? Don't trust people. You can't trust people. Even when they've given me no reason not to trust them. And I mean, ultimately the decision I'm trying to, make for myself and follow through with is I can't erase what happened, but I can do my best to not let what happened change me so much that I become someone who I'm not. And the me before this stuff that happened was a loving, trusting, positive, optimistic person. And I need to, if there's something that, passes all these tests and is so great, I can't let what other people did to me make me pass up on happiness and joy for the rest of my life. And so that's kind of it. And that's the basics of, the other stuff in terms of what's going on with me delving into a relationship again. Because it's not easy. And I can talk about it now and feel okay about it, and then things will creep up. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm totally like, my mind is starting to want to cry about it. It's just really hard for me to trust. Even though, everything tells me, other pieces of me say you should trust this person because they've never given you any reason not to. And in fact, they've gone out of their way to build trust and to make you comfortable and things like that. So this is me trying to not let what other people have done to me and my family destroy my chances for happiness in the future. And this is me trying to trust in the old me and my, the path that looks hopeful to me, instead of me sabotaging it or pushing things away because I don't want to get hurt again. And maybe I'll get hurt again. I just hope it's not in this catastrophic way. you know, I could deal with a relationship not working out. That is not the issue. It doesn't mean like, oh, if you date someone for a while and it doesn't work out, that person's a piece of trash. I mean, that's not it. If we don't work out, we don't work out. But I just, you know, just really trying to have faith that this isn't going to end up in a completely life-destroying event like my last 2 relationships did. So that's it. And like I said, I'll pair this with the blog because they totally go together. But I thought for this one, a video might be better because I just had a lot to say about it. And I know it'd be easier to do it this way than writing. So let me know if you think I'm being an idiot or a go Team Ryan and go forward with this and try to be happy and go for it. But I feel like I just needed to express what I'm going through, you know, here as I'm sharing my story with you, because I've talked about it with friends and I've talked about it in therapy, but not here. And yeah, just really want to put it all out there. If you look on my blog, you'll see I'm starting to try to write more regularly, like at least 5 days a week with, you know, on different topics too, not just on one, so that I can really get moving on some of this stuff and yeah, just share and learn and process and, you know, go through all that. So check it out because I'm on there a lot more than I am here on video, but I plan on bouncing back and forth for both too. All right, so thanks for listening and putting up with my stupid, bubbly, and love happiness, as well as my, you know, sad, pessimistic side that I'm fighting on a daily basis. It's not fun. Well, the one part is, but the battle between the two isn't. But I really do think that I can move forward and find a way to integrate these 2 pieces together and find a place where I can feel safe and happy and have joy and happiness and love and relationships, and also, you know, not, you know, and still somehow, and not just ignore what's happened in the past. Because that's never going to happen. It's way too much in my head. I just want it like there and a learning lesson, but I don't want it to control my life anymore and the decisions I make. So this is progress in a couple different ways, and I'm proud of it and just stupid happy when it comes to this relationship. So let's hope it doesn't turn out to be catastrophically horrendous in the end, but I don't think it will be. All right, bye.